you're here with me. This week we're learning about insects. So let's get started with a pictorial. And in this pictorial, I'm going to draw an insect and I'm going to tell you about its body parts, okay? So the title is going to be Insect Body Parts. So here's my marker. Let me start with the head. Every insect has a head. We have a head too. So here's my insect's head. I know that my insect has these eyes on its head as well. Okay, so there's our insect's head. Next, I'm gonna draw a part of the body called a thorax. Thorax. Okay, so an insect has a head and a thorax. Okay, this is the middle part of the body. And the last part down here that I'm going to draw is the abdomen. The abdomen, okay? So we have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. All insects have 6 legs. So if you pick up something you think is an insect and it has more or less than 6 legs, or maybe you don't see legs at all, it's not considered an insect. So here's leg number 2. Here's leg number 3. Okay, and now I'm going to come down here because I know if I have 3 legs on that side, I'm going to have 3 legs on this side. Okay, and that's 4. This is leg number 5. Okay, and then leg number 6. Have you been able to guess what insect this might be? Let me keep drawing and let's see if you can guess what kind of insect I am drawing here. So we have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, and 6 legs. The last thing I'm going to add are the antennae. Okay, these are the antennae. There are 2 antennae that go on the top of an insect's head. Okay, so we have the head, the thorax, the abdomen, 6 legs, and 2 antennae. Okay, so I'm going to label them really quickly. I have these really fancy cards that you can find, your parents can find in our little Google document we have. So if you want to print these out, you can make your own chart and you can have these cards for information, okay? So this is a picture of the insect's head and it says the control center where all sensory information is processed. So that's a big sentence, but what it really means is that the head of the insect is where the insect can recognize smell, touch, and hear, okay? And also see. So the head is very important, just like us. We do all those things with our head too, okay? Next, I have the antennae. These are the antennae. And the antennae are also called feelers, okay? They're called the feelers because insects use them to touch. They also use antennae to pick up smells and sounds because they do not have a nose or ears. True fact, they don't have a nose or ears. So they use their antennae to learn about the world around them and to help them find their food. Okay, next we're going to move on to the thorax. And the thorax is the middle region of an insect. Okay, so the middle part of its body. All 6 legs and the wings are attached to the thorax. So if the insect has wings, it's going to be on the back. Spiracles on the thorax help insects breathe. Wow. I hope I said that word right. Spiracles. It might be spiracles, but I think it's spiracles. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, and then we're going to do, these cards. The abdomen. So we have the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And the abdomen is the back end of an insect, okay? So the spiracles on the abdomen allow the insect to breathe. So basically along the back side here, they have, I think they're little holes that allow them to breathe in and out. They're so small, I don't think you could see them. So I'm gonna put my card here. The abdomen's the back end. And then we have legs. They have 6 legs. The legs are used for standing and walking. They also have taste receptors that help an insect taste their food. Some insects, like bees, collect pollen on their legs. So a bee is also an insect. That's very interesting. So they can touch and taste their food with their legs. Okay, and the last part I have is the eyes, okay? The eyes are used to locate food, help the insect find where it's going, and to watch for danger. Okay, so kind of what we use our eyes for too. It helps us to look around and see things, to find food, to keep our eyes open for danger. Okay, so I want to teach you a song that has to do with insect body parts, but you have to stand up. Oh, okay. All right, so you're going to repeat after me. An abdomen, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, an abdomen, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, antennae, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, antennae, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, antennae, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, antennae, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Yay, good job. Okay, now let's sit down and we're gonna add some real live pictures of real live insects that you might know or see here in Fremont. Okay, so I'll just go over a couple with you and then we'll add some more later or tomorrow. Okay, so this is a bumblebee. Now, a bumblebee is an insect. It has wings on its back to help it fly, but it has a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, and antennae. Okay, so bumblebee is an insect. Ooh, this one's fun. This is the ladybug. Isn't that a nice real life picture of a ladybug? So a ladybug is also an insect. It's a beetle. And it has a head and a thorax and an abdomen too. Put them on this side. Okay, ladybugs and bees are both so helpful for gardens and for plants. Bees are great pollinators and ladybugs help eat certain bugs that like to eat our plants. So they're helper bugs. Next, I know you'll all probably know what this one is. Do you know what this one is? It's a big word. That's right, it's a butterfly. This is a beautiful monarch butterfly. So butterflies are also very important pollinators, which means they help plants grow. They land on plants from one to another, and that's what's gonna help make new plants grow. Okay, now I know that you may not be too fond of this insect, okay? But it is a fly. A fly. And one thing I want you to know about every insect is that they all serve a purpose. So a fly actually helps break down trash and old yucky things. So it spits out a certain sort of serum out of its mouth, and then it's not even out of its mouth, but kind of, and it spits it out and it starts dissolving things. So it helps break down old food and trash. So it's kind of like a helper in its own way, even though it's a little bit of a nuisance at times. Oh, and here's what we drew. Did we guess? It's an ant. That's what our picture is of, an ant. And ants are helper bugs too, because they help to break things down. So they can eat things or chew things down to make them nice and small. Okay? And then the last one I'm going to show you today is a mosquito. A mosquito. So I know you probably know this insect that flies around and it can land on you and it can even bite you. So we don't really like mosquitoes very much, but they are something that we see in Fremont, especially in the evenings over summertime, okay? So don't forget, your insect has a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, 6 legs, and 2 antennae, which we also can call feelers. So today, if you have a chance, see if your parents can help you get onto your Clever account and find the homeschool link. When you find that link and you click on it, it's gonna take you into my special Google Docs. And in there, on week 3, I have fun activities for you to do that have to do with insects, okay? So if you have time today, try to access that and check it all out and see if you can do it. There's a fun book in there you can make. There's these cards that you can also use to make your own pictorial. So check it out. You can even do some labeling. There's also an activity for you to do some labeling. All right, have fun. Check in later.